Hey, what's up? It's Jim, and today I'm going to talk about Deadpool and Wolverine. This is, I guess, sort of Deadpool's emergence into the MCU, as well as sort of his team up with Wolverine, as well as a sort of goodbye to the 20th Century Fox Marvel movies, but also some other ones. I am not the biggest fan of Deadpool, the character, movie-wise, at least. And I know people either get very exuberant about this film or get very angry at this movie. And I kind of get the happy part more because there's nothing about this movie in this multiverse era that we are presently in that we didn't see before. You know, this is sort of like not that unexpected. Even all the cameos, which I guess we're not supposed to ruin or, you know, something like that. But after Multiverse of Madness and No Way Home and two Spider-Verse movies and countless other movies with tons of cameos and stuff, I'm not exactly like, this is the death of cinema. I'm more like, okay, I've seen them do this before, but better, you know? But I still had fun with this. And I think this is sort of, the Deadpool movies appear to be subversive and different. And I think they are different. I don't think they're subversive. He's sort of Marvel's Bugs Bunny, but Bugs Bunny, I think, was a little more creative. Two different stuff. And Deadpool is specifically just Deadpool all the time, nonstop. So if you find that shtick annoying, you're just trapped with this movie. And if you love it absolutely. You know, I think Ryan Reynolds is perfectly cast as Deadpool. I don't know if I like him or Deadpool at all, really, but they're both there. But I think when you come to terms with, this is just sort of a movie, or all the Deadpool movies are sort of movies like I think people sit down and have a cold beer with and laugh along with, that I don't think represent too much to people outside of who's into this, which I think there are a shit ton of people who are into Deadpool, obviously. But I honestly think this reminds me, especially this one, of the Cannonball Run movies, where you have a lot of cameos. You have guys who are like, oh, they're just pals. These movie stars, they're just pals. They're buds, and they're teaming up, and they're doing cool stuff. And you can imagine your dad in the 80s, maybe not my dad, but your dad in the 80s, watching the Cannonball Run movies, having a cold beer after a long week of work, and enjoying it and laughing along. And like, oh man, that Burt Reynolds, I can't believe they got Roger Moore to be in this one. It's crazy. It's the same shit again. It's like there's almost like nothing groundbreaking about this, but that's like also the point. Like that's the whole thing with this. In fact, that's honestly the whole thing with Deadpool. It's like everyone's like, wow, it's so different, and it's like, nah, I mean, I guess, I don't know, I'm kind of like never surprised by them. I'm sort of like, you know, he said the fuck and he talks about all the sex stuff. Oh, okay. I mean, maybe I was too old when this started. Maybe it's not that funny. Maybe it's not that original. But like, if I just watch it, it's like, hey, these two guys got together. You know, Deadpool and Wolverine, they're together, and I wanted to just chill out with a big blockbuster. That's sort of what this is. It's like so much nothing more. I don't think Sean Levy has ever seen any cult movies in entire life. I think he just sees like things that are referenced in pop culture and is sort of vaguely aware that there is a Citizen Kane maybe. But that's like as far as I really get from him. He's not... You know, he was a family filmmaker. You know, he was very good at night museums and certain things like that. But I don't think and he's very good, and especially with cameos. Like, all the night museums do it. Free Guy does it. This movie does it. I feel like, you know, I liked Adam Project, actually. But it does feel like he's very much a guy who is a studio director that suits like. And maybe it seems like Ryan Reynolds likes him a lot, and he does very well with that. This movie is about Deadpool learns that his timeline is going to be completely erased, even though his life post-Deadpool 2 is not working out. He finds out it's going to be erased quickly because its anchor being, which is Wolverine, who died in Logan, they have to go and find a new Wolverine to replace that anchor being, which is not entirely what they're supposed to do, but whatever. And then he winds up in the void, because the TVA makes them go there and has to find his way back, and runs into many different characters from the 20th Century Fox, in particular X-Men movies, down there, and they have a ton of cameos. And, Deadpool and Wolverine have to figure out how to stop this bad guy and get back and fix the universe and all that stuff. I think Ryan Reynolds can be fun and funny, and he reminds me of Chevy Chase, obviously. But I think he also reminds me of Burt Reynolds. But if Burt Reynolds, like Burt Reynolds always said, when he didn't do in terms of endearment, that was sort of the beginning and the end, because he lost the audience at that point, and he just did like silly, fun movies. Ryan Reynolds will never, first off, terms of endearment just wouldn't happen now, and he would never do it because he can't put a picture of his gin in it or something. I don't know. But he's not like an actor anymore. He's just a movie star, business, trust fund guy. I don't know. I don't really get why you all like him. That's beyond me. But he's there, and he will just never change, and he's always Ryan Reynolds. And it's like boring as crap sometimes, but he's very good at this character, even though where he ends and Deadpool begins is like, I'm not even sure. I honestly think he's one of those people like Christopher Reeves or Chadwick Boseman or Hugh Jackman or Robert Downey Jr. or certain people who you're like, I can't imagine who could ever play that role again after him. And I don't think anyone could play Deadpool other than Ryan Reynolds. Like, it just seems like kind of like, it feels like you could never do that. Eventually someone will, obviously, but he's very good at that. And I think like certain things like creative decisions are more fun. It does feel like everyone has said like kind of very mean bro humor that's like verging on like close to homophobia, but you're like, well, he's like, I forget Deadpool's sexuality, but he's not straight, so I think we're cis, and he so it's okay, but it kind of just still feels like shitty dumb bro humor. But he's very good at it. The bye thing at the very beginning is fun and all that. He still loves being Deadpool, and you can show it. Hugh Jackman does not half-ass anything, which is awesome to watch, to be honest with you. This does feel more Deadpool and less Wolverine. Like, this is Deadpool 3, and also Wolverine's there. It's like, it honestly should be like Deadpool and Wolverine's font should be a lot significantly smaller, because it's far more about Deadpool's arc. I do like that Hugh Jackman, like, when he really needs to sell something, you're like, oh fuck, that's right. He's like a very good actor. He's been nominated for several Oscars, and like, regardless of, I wasn't a fan of Prisoners necessarily, but he's very good in it. Like, you can tell he challenges himself as an actor. Like, he likes acting, unlike Ryan Reynolds, I guess. He likes these roles, and also that he's long, like for real, since the 2000s, has long wanted to do a crossover thing, and it felt like he was very game. Like, he's like, I think there's a difference between being like, Ryan Reynolds is I don't know if he's really a movie star. He mostly just goes to streaming and puts a few things in theaters, so let's just say he's like a famous person. But like Hugh Jackman is a movie star, is an actor. Like, he would be an actor. There's certain actors who you're like, you would be an actor no matter what they're paying you. Like, that's what you're born to do, and Hugh Jackman is 100% that. Like, he's just amazing at it. Like, there's just certain sequences like, oh yeah, you are like really, really good at this. I don't think it's his best performance, or even his best performance as Wolverine or anything. Obviously, that's Logan, but he's still very good. It still reminds you how he became a movie star with this role. Because seriously, no one, when I first heard about that he was cast in the first one, I remember people saying, this guy's going to be a movie star. And when you're watching, you're like, I mean, yeah, that guy's a movie star. Like, you knew instantly, and like, in this, it's like, oh right, he is like a thing, and I can tell 24 years later he's still very good. I don't, the 20th Century Fox thing, I don't think this is that much of a love letter or goodbye. I think it's just sort of like in there. There's a lot of cameos. There's certain points where like the movie stops to do a ton of silly cameos and stuff, or do like funny music. Haha, Deadpool likes the lady music or the pop music. It's hilarious. Haha, bye, and all that. Which a lot of that stuff is like, we're still doing this? Okay. The bye sequence was pretty fun. I like that. The rest was like, okay, I get it. 20th Century Fox, that whole thing, like, yes, it is what brought us Ryan Reynolds Deadpool and brought us Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, and kind of showed the two biggest breakout stars from that who really blew up because of those movies. And I thought that was really nice. The fact of the matter is, I don't want to spoil anything, but none of the main X-Men are in this. And maybe they're saving them for, the Secret Wars or whatever, as everyone says. But it did feel like, oh, you're a love letter, but like, where's Halle Berry? Where's Famke Jensen? Where's James Marsden? Where's Patrick Stewart? Where's Ian McKellen? And like, you're like, okay, well, we couldn't get any of them, or even Anna Paquin, but we got all this other people. Some people I barely noticed in the background. I was like, oh, Kelly Hu was in this? I didn't even see her in the movie. Kelly Hu from X-Men 2. I don't think this is essentially a deep movie. I don't think it's a smart movie. I think it's just like, it is what it is, but it does oftentimes like, I'm going to be annoying. And then he is. And you're like, oh, okay. Or like the whole like, I'm getting even, so I'm the better person kind of mentality, which like runs through this movie a lot. Or like, oh, I'm the smart aleck, I got the last word in. And I do think like Deadpool can just be annoying, so which kind of hurts it. But it was interesting, like what it hints at for the future. I think I liked all the cameos. I think they're all good. It's funny to think of this versus The Flash, because The Flash does similar things where it references other movies and like gets involved in multiverses and time travel, and we also get involved in like the older IP and like with the CGI things at the end of stuff. This felt like it liked all the like the writers were like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if we had this person show up as Wolverine, or wouldn't it be cool if we referenced this comic or this version of Wolverine from the comics and show that, and why don't we have this character? Wouldn't it be cool if that, like I do think this movie is not very deep, but it's made by people who are like, yeah, but we do actually like this stuff. Like it's kind of weird to see someone be apathetic but also be like, I mean, I do care about the movies. I do like he makes a Black Adam joke, which I appreciate. It did feel like there was an actual love for it. It wasn't like, see, we reference this thing. I mean, it was very much, see, we reference this thing, but some of the things they referenced were like, okay, I get a sense you like this, and like you wanted to have this big cameo, but you're like trying to make a fun Deadpool-y point, but it sort of like actually works. Those are the moments of this I like, and I liked seeing it in a packed theater on a Sunday night. Like people were so into this thing and laughing every moment. I don't think it's like, I mean, I never hear about like Deadpool 2, for example, that much. I don't hear about them often. I do think this will be a big movie this year, and as time goes on, it'll like fade into the background because there's nothing really to make it stick necessarily. Maybe it'll mean more in the overall Marvel thing, but it just feels like a really empty summer movie. But like that's what I expect in the summer. So like I've been through a couple of these multiverse things, and it just doesn't feel as momentous as like, oh my god, the Spider-Man are together, or Multiverse Madness like didn't play around as much, but having all those characters, having Sam Raimi and stuff, like there's nothing too interesting. But I think the interesting thing is that it's just a Deadpool movie with a bunch of cameos, and people are happy about that. And if I judge it on how they like it, it's a very good movie. If I judge it on more overall cinema, it is sort of like the fast food, the junkiest fast food you can eat, and you're gonna eat it up and you feel satisfied. But I don't think it's like I don't think it's going to make you think about much other than like, wouldn't it be cool if this person was in the MCU, and how would they travel over, and all that sort of stuff. It's like, it's very much like junk food for the superhero soul, and that's what it is. There's nothing more. They're not going for anything deeper or smarter. They're not trying to push it forward. There's no weird imagery that'll make you feel funny. It's or scared or anything like that. It's just like, this is Deadpool and Wolverine. There are certain sequences, it's fun watching them fight in the car that they definitely got a sponsorship for. I mean, that is one thing I don't love about this movie, is all the ads I've seen them make out of characters and stuff is like to an extreme that it's like, man, Ryan Reynolds is just like he's like too investory. It's like kind of boring. This is just junk. It's good at being junk. It's fine about being the junk it is. But it's like, Sean Levy is not interesting enough of a director. Like, how do you fuck up the old boy fight? Like the old boy fight, the pan fight in this, they have a fight where like Wolverine and Deadpool fight a bunch of Deadpools and stuff, and it's like panning from one to the other, and they like leave the frame. Like, you don't leave the frame. That's like the point of it. It's like, do I have to explain? Like, come on. Like, the point is, like, you make it through the fight, you see their endurance. Like, that's the point of the shot. You like don't even understand. No, that's the one thing. It's like, I don't. Sometimes some of these like very yes man directors, I'm like, do you understand like the basics of like the theory of the shot you're doing? And there's oftentimes when I'm watching, like, oh, you don't. You just know how to shoot, how the studio says. And it's like, why do that? It's like maybe to give them a break or change camera, or like be funny. But I didn't get that from it. It just felt like a director who isn't smart enough to make this more than it is, and a movie that demands that it not be at all. But was it fun at settling cinematically? Yeah, sure. I guess it was. Sometimes it's fine to settle, and Deadpool and Wolverine is comfortable to settle with you. So if you've seen Deadpool and Wolverine and would like to talk about it, then comment below in the comments and subscribe if you would like to.